Stoner, Spears Jamaica's blushes. It has been a bittersweet experience for the Caribbean athletes in Paris so far, but there have been some silver linings. We're back out the blocks on our SportsMax platforms. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share our content. We will be so grateful. I'm Leighton Levy, and with me is celebrated entertainer D Major. And today we dive into what transpired on the track and in the field over the weekend, the disappointments and the historic triumphs. And we start with the last weekend's events in the 100 meters. Major boss, big moves on the weekend, pure history.
Yes.
St. Lucia is still celebrating.
Definitely.
Julian Alfred.
Definitely.
You know, of course, Tia Lafond in the field, which you picked to win the triple jump.
Yes, I got that
your
right.
props for that.
That's right.
Of course, the relative disappointment of Kishane Thompson not winning the 100.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to get into. So, but let's start with the obvious ones and, of course, the historic moments. Yeah. Julian Alfred, we both believed that she was going to win, she could win the 100, and she delivered.
Indeed. And a big moment for her, big moment for our country. I'm really happy for her. And we see the work that she put in, and kudos to her and her coaching staff. There's a clip going around now with her coach speaking to her to a disappointing finish indoors.
That was
in a 60.
That was her first year. That was her first year in Texas. Yeah.
But to hear the words he used, this is it's a big part of coaching, the psychological part. So to hear how he was, teaching her and showing her that, this is a part of it. You have to just go through this process to get to the glory. I was really impressed. So kudos to her, man. Our journey seems interesting, and we'll continue to wait and see, how we and her will go back and forth, because she seems to be there to stay.
No, she's
gonna be there to stay. Yes,
she has arrived. Yeah. When you consider that when Shelley won the Olympic title in 2008, 10:73, right?
Yeah.
This is 10:72 in driving rain, in a minus 0.1 wind. This girl is ready to run 10:6.
No, she's in 10:6 form. Given the conditions in Paris, she's without a doubt she's in 10:6 form right now. She might very well do it before the season is out.
Absolutely.
Like one of them 1/2 Diamond League, because she's in superb form. You see where her 200 is. Coming into Paris, she ran 21:08.
Yeah.
That is her PB. So she's in. It speaks to that. The fact that she's in superb form.
Are you surprised though at how easy the victory was? The margin of victory was 0.15. That's a city block in sprints. Huh?
It happens though in a Leighton, and I've learned this from Shelley and Fraser Price. There are times that Shelley just beat in the field by like a city block. When you thought it would have been close. But I think it speaks to the preparation and just the timing. Sometimes the athlete gets it totally right with them team, and the timing, she had everything right. She was prepared, it seems, mentally. She peaked the right time and was ready for the moment.
Yeah, well, it was quite impressive for me. What I liked about her race, though, is that, Florial had said throughout the course of the season that when she ran in Jamaica at the Racers Grand Prix, he said the first 60 was terrible and the last 40 was good.
That alone tell you.
Yeah, well, and then I think there was a previous race. Yeah,
that was 10:7.
That was 10:78. And I think the previous time when she ran in Oregon, he said her first, last 40 was terrible, but the first 60 was good. So what is clear is that she put
the full
two
race
pieces
together now. Yeah.
And it was as close to perfect as you could get under the circumstances.
If a female is running 10:7 and her coach tells you that there were mistakes or there were, parts that he's not pleased with, the world have to go up and notice. You have to look out. Yeah, man.
Yeah, a big talking point, though, leading up to the final was the withdrawal of Shelley and Fraser Price and the whole issue with them being blocked at a gate that come through the previous week. And it was not just Shelley, it was Shakari as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk going on, and people always say anything. But do you think that that had a part to play in Shelley's not running in the semi-final?
I don't know
whether or not it impacted Shakari in the final.
But I can't help but to wonder, Leighton, because Shakari seemed to underperform, not taking anything away from Julian. I'm not saying Shakari would have won. However, she looked a bit flat. She has a acceleration and a top-end speed there that, it seemed non-existent in the final. So I don't know if that. Because I'm hearing also that there was a long walk from where they were, to where they had to get back to. So I don't know if that affected them. You know what I'm saying? It would be unfortunate if that was the case, because apparently the rules were changed overnight
Yeah.
and
And
not
nobody
announced, and they
nobody
wouldn't have
told.
known it. So that I think is very unfair to the athlete if that's exactly how it went down, you know. So we don't want this. Even my rivals, I don't want that for them. We want to beat you at your best. You know what I'm saying? So give everyone a fair chance.
Yeah, I thought, I don't think the walk back had any impact on them
Okay.
whatsoever. I mean, this is just how I feel. Because when you're fit and when you're trained to that level, a walk is not like they were running towards
No, Leighton, but if you're preparing for the Olympic 100-meter final, if the walk is even at high schoolers, their coaches and them overseers here in Jamaica will be yelling at them if them running up and down the stairs because it takes away from your legs. It gives probably your competitors a little advantage. You know, it's arguable. It will take away from you. You don't want to be on your legs too long. You don't want to be, having a long walk before the Olympic 100-meter final.
the semi-final. That was before
Well,
the
yeah,
semi-final.
it was the semi-final. Correct. Sorry,
Yeah.
thank you. So, I mean, you don't want that. You know, you want to ensure that everything is you're in the mind for it. That is something that will throw you off mentally as well.
But
You know?
point taken. Point
Yeah.
taken. Let's switch to the guys now because that created one of the bigger talking points on the weekend.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, there are a couple of things that stood out to me. One,
Yeah.
for us, there are a lot of people who don't like Noah Lyles. There are a lot of people who think that he talks too much. There are a lot of people who believe that he's too brash.
Yeah.
But you can't kill him.
No.
Man backs, he backs up
No.
the talk with the walk.
Definitely.
And he said he was going to
Definitely.
win the gold medal. We all thought that Kishian
Definitely.
Thompson was going to win. And he snuck it out. I mean, same time, which brought up another debate.
Yeah.
But he won, certainly for now,
Yeah.
he's a gold medalist.
Yes.
You can't take that from him.
No.
Big personal
absolutely
best.
not. Absolutely not.
You know,
I-
but
i-
what
if-
do you think? What do you think? Why do you think what happened in the final?
First of all, let me co-sign what you're saying. If you're going to talk like Noah Lyles does, yeah, I have to back it up, and that's what he did. Not just this year, not just last year. You see me? So you can see the pattern. So he's backing up everything he says. I don't like hearing him talk, but I have to respect it, Leighton, because as you say, him come and back it up. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to Noah Lyles. He got it right the right time. I think what Kishian made a lot of mistakes in the race, so he came down to Noah's level, you know, and Noah Lyles just was able to capitalize on that. But you still have to give him respect. It is what it is.
There's an argument that the gold medal should have been shared,
Yeah.
given the fact that we've heard now the rules that govern these events.
Yes.
That it should not have been gone down into the thousands,
Yes.
but it should have the cut off at the hundreds, which
Yeah.
would have given both gentlemen 9.79.
That I was just learning last evening or this morning. Is my camera this? Producer, listen. IOC, we want a gold medal then. Because
Yeah.
we hear that the first place, the rule is it must not be broken down to the thousandth of a second. So 100th of a second for first place is good enough. That means we should share the gold medal. And I would really like for Kishian Thompson to get his presented to him before the games are over.
Yeah, and
You know what I'm
if
saying?
the rules are sound, which is what based on what we're knowing, they are sound.
Yeah.
I think the J3 should do something about it.
Definitely, of
Not that we're
course.
trying to deny Lyles
No.
his glory.
No.
But if the medal should be shared, just
But
like
who-
we saw with Shelley and Fraser Price, not Shelley and Fraser Price, Kieran Stewart
If that-
and Sharon back in 2008.
Leighton, if that is the law of the land, that we want to work with.
Yeah,
So
for real.
it wouldn't be no rules or laws broken. So me want J3 to move to that aggressively and swiftly.
Yeah, I
You
think
know what
so.
I say?
Because
Yeah,
that
man.
representation is
Of
necessary.
course, of course. I mean, know the larger Jamaican public, we want a gold medal.
For real.
Trust me.
Yeah, but
Yeah, man.
let me switch now to oblique Seville. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, World Championship 2022,
Yes.
fourth.
Disappointing.
2023,
disappointing.
fourth.
Yeah.
This time he finished
Eighth.
eighth,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I say eighth because he ran 9.92. This was the closest, I think, our first place finisher has been to the person who finished eighth, 0.12.
Yeah.
But is it that oblique is finding it difficult to navigate finals, given that we've seen, I don't know, look, we're not discrediting the fact that he's hurt because he's out of the relays as well.
Yeah.
But does it probably mean that oblique needs some kind of special help, maybe from a sports psychologist to help him navigate these spaces? Because what we've seen him do, notwithstanding the injury of the final, that he's underperforming in finals. And this is the third time now, so it's more than just a coincidence or an accident. It's beginning to look like a trend.
Yeah. First and foremost, I think all athletes need, to have interactions with sports psychologists. I think in Jamaica we overlook that a lot. The wider world, they take that seriously. And it cannot hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's another part. You have a physical therapist and everything there with you. And sports psychology is a huge part, I believe. This time around, though, Leighton, because of the injury, I cannot complain where Oblique is concerned because he didn't go out there to get injured. He didn't call this down on himself. This is beyond him. His physiotherapist, his coach, this is beyond. No one wants to get injured, and unfortunately, he got injured this time. I understand the previous years, but this time around it was beyond him. I thought he was really ready this time around.
Yeah, you saw it in the semi.
His demeanor, his disposition, you could have seen it on him. Oblique is a different person now because he has experienced this moment 2 times before. You know what I'm saying? Not the Olympics, but the world stage.
Yeah, but he's a
World
similar
Championship.
stage.
Yeah, so I believe he was ready. It's just unfortunate that he got hurt. He looked really, really good in the semis, and it's just unfortunate that he got hurt. The same injury that he felt here at the national trials.
Championship final,
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it, though, notwithstanding the injury still, going forward, maybe he starts to doubt himself now when it comes to finals.
That's a good argument.
Because
that's a good argument.
If you're doing 3 finals in a row, especially, so the last 2 years, we understand here because he had a back issue that he sorted out.
Yeah.
He was ready this year. We saw it. 982, he cruised 981 in the semifinal.
Even the 200s lately.
Yeah.
He being in the 200s.
And 47 in the 4.
There you go.
Tells you he was in shape this year.
Yeah, just unfortunate.
So maybe now he needs that kind of help to get over the disappointment because I'm sure
possibly
that he's very disappointed at the fact that he was ready to deliver.
Yeah, and he said it. And he admitted that he was super disappointed, that he wasn't able to perform how he knows, he should have. Yeah.
Yeah, so the sprinters have fallen short, boss. And, I mean, in real terms, in real terms, this is a country, Jamaica we're talking about specifically. I'm going to get to the Tiala Fund in a second because I have to talk about her success.
Definitely, yes.
A country known for Herb McKinley, a country known for Lennox Miller, a country known for Bert Cameron, Winthrop Graham, Asafa Powell, Dion Hemmings. And so far at these Olympic Games, and the track and field is almost over.
Yes.
1 sprint medal so far at these Olympic Games. Going in, we had the first and third fastest man in the world for the year.
Yeah.
We had the fastest woman in the world.
I like
in
where this is
400 meters.
going. Yeah.
We do still have the second fastest woman in the world in the sprint hurdles. Those events have not been run yet at the point of this broadcast.
Yeah.
But 1 medal, boss.
It's a disappointing year based on what we know we could have done Leighton, and it started even before the Olympics began. We saw Elaine Thompson pulling out, going down with an injury. We saw Sharika get hurt just before the Olympics.
That's 3 medals there.
We know Shelley had a challenging season. Now, late in the last Olympics, who won gold?
Was Elaine Thompson there, or Shelley was second?
Who won silver?
Shelley, and third was Sharika.
That is a Jamaican sweep. But even so, Leighton, what kind of bugs me is that even then, I heard people saying, why shouldn't she win? Why shouldn't the next one win? Even though Jamaica sweep the podium, we swept the podium. So when are we satisfied? What I say? So, but however, this championship is unfortunate, as I said, so far, the sprint, we are competing with titans of decades now. You know what I'm saying? We have the respect of the USA. They are watching us all the time. Because the respect, once you have on the black, gold, and green, you're carrying a whole heap of weight. You know what I'm saying? So, to be finishing this Olympics, I did not see this. Coming into this Olympics, I did not see this kind of result going on. But it happens, it's track and field. And this is why me and you can stay here late and talk a lot of things, but the races have to be run.
For real. And of course, it takes a note to the field events because they have built Jamaica out. But before we get to Jamaica, I want to mention Dominica because Dominica, like St. Lucia, has never won an Olympic medal before.
Yeah.
World indoor champion
Looking like
Tia Lafon comes out and delivers big time outdoors for her first Olympic title, and it's a big title for her country as well.
It is.
How huge is it? I mean, we've seen her jump in Jamaica all the time.
Massive. I mean, I picked her as fear, but to see it actually happen, this is massive, and we see how what it does, the impact something like that has on Jamaica. So just imagine somewhere like Dominica, somewhere like St. Lucia, we think about Dominica. This is a huge win for her, and it should spark the interest of the kids coming up in Dominica now, and coaches as well, for the world to spread, and for more talent to come out.
Absolutely.
And they might unearth
I was
a
so
whole heap
proud
more.
of her. She's such a beautiful person. Met her husband at trials, and it was, he's an incredible human being as well as her coach as well. Similar to Shanika Ricketts and Kerry Lee Ricketts, husband coach situation.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic, of course, and it was great for her as well. History again. Look, one of the things while the sprinters have fallen short of expectations. The field eventers have been creating history of their own, even though she didn't win,
Yes.
Shanika Ricketts is the first Jamaican woman to medal in a field event at the Olympics for Jamaica.
At the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Who was it? Trisha. That was World Championship.
That was World Championship in 2005.
Okay, World Championship. So this is the Olympics. So this is historic again.
This is history as well.
So Trisha and Kerry Lee, big up on herself. Big up on herself. I did not know that, Leighton.
Yeah, man, massive history for Jamaica in that regard as well. But and that brings us to the glory moment yesterday. Listen, we got 3 guys in the final.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, when I looked at the field and look at the form of that Che and Stahl and all those guys are in there, Good Zeus and of course Alekna, I was saying, I wonder if. But I was thinking, honestly, it was going to be Travis.
Thank you very much.
Because Travis has been the most consistent throughout.
Travis is the one that would have said, would have a chance to disturb the top 5. Yeah. Because this field, I wonder if people understand the level of this field.
World champion,
you and I,
Olympic champion, world champion. These are guys who are...
But when you see people like Alekna, Leighton, this man is like is a beast when it comes to the discus.
Yep.
And for Roger to step up and beat him at the Olympic Games, it was also an Olympic record because he just before his father, Alekna.
Yep. Virgilius had the record from 2004, for those who don't know.
Go ahead, yeah.
Virgilius Alekna had the record 69-89 from 2004.
All right.
It was the first of his 2 Olympic titles, I think. Or the second of his 2 Olympic titles. I think the first one was in 2000.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah. So that record has stood for 20 years.
Yes.
His son comes along. First of all, breaks the world record this year, earlier this year, 74-35.
Yes.
And then comes and breaks his own father's record at 69-97.
Yeah.
And in the minds of many,
it's over. The competition
it's
over.
Done.
Yeah, no, with that distance like that, the regular person, even the competitor should feel like, all right, let's try to grab silver.
Yeah. And here comes Roger Stoner. Out of Rossies, out of San Diego, out of Arkansas.
Wow. 70 meters.
70 meter flat on the nose.
Yeah.
And it threw them off, because when you looked at the rest of the throwers, everybody was under pressure, including Alekna himself.
That will. When if you talk to athletes, Leighton, that does those series events like long jump, triple jump, and the discus, shot put, if somebody gets a huge distance out there early or so, or you notice the competition taking a certain pattern, a certain trend, and then somebody just goes out there with a huge distance, it will stun everybody else.
Yep.
And that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah, man. And so, kudos to Roger Stoner. Olympic record, not the national record is 70.70.
You're right.
Yeah. But Olympic record, first ever gold medal for Jamaica in the discus.
Big up Jason Dads Morgan. He said it. He called it from early. Dads Morgan, big up yourself.
From 2014.
Yeah, man.
So fantastic performance from him.
Yeah.
But the one of the things I want to mention as well, because a lot of the success has come from Jamaica, but there are some successes that didn't yield medals. Shafika Meloni from St. Vincent and the Grenadines was 4th in the 800-meter final.
Yeah.
We had her on the SportsMax zone here in Kingston earlier this year. It was just before the Olympic Games. I think a couple of weeks before, 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
This girl was homeless.
Wow.
She had issues finding food. She had issues just surviving.
Wow.
And here she comes,
Wow.
works her way through, and gets fourth place just outside the podium. In fact, it was her interview that allowed her to get some sponsorship from KFC in St. Vincent.
Wow.
And the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, I think, rallied an effort that got her some funding.
What a story.
And here she comes through. Massive kudos to those who supported her. Massive kudos to Shafika Maloney, because, look, these small islands, they don't have developed programs like in Jamaica, for example, or in the US.
Yeah.
So they depend largely on what happens when they go to college. You know, to get that kind of training, to get that kind of support. And for her to do what she did, I think is as good as getting a medal at the Olympic Games.
I love these stories, Leighton. You know, God is great. You know, these stories are, and now, so she just missed the podium with limited resources. I mean, that says a lot. You know, so I hope now she gets the attention, which I'm sure she will. You know, you're an Olympic finalist. You know, fourth place in the Olympics. So I just personally wish her all the best. Let me ask you though, Leighton, why did you see the potential before? What was the reason for you reaching out or the interview?
I didn't reach out. The team did. The thing is that she was winning all year.
Oh, okay.
Up to the point when they spoke to her, she had not lost a race all season.
Wow. Okay.
Right, and then she stepped on and ran a couple of 400, and I think she won a couple of those 400-meter races as well. So she was in good form all season, through indoors, coming to outdoors, and doing this literally on a dime, because she didn't have the resources, she didn't have the nutrition. She had a good set of coaches around her at Arkansas, but the reality is that when she go home, in some instances she didn't have a home to go home to.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it was crazy to see her navigate her way through and get to the final and just missed out on a medal. So it just tells you that when you have the resources, when you can support the athletes the way they need to be supported, they will do great things. Because if she's done what she's been able to do with limited resources, can you imagine what she'll be capable of had she had the resources at her disposal when she was.
Good point, Leighton. I don't want people to understand that, Leighton, because we see the athletes doing whatever and we expect things from them, but sometimes we don't know the story. Some might not be as bad as her, not homeless and everything, but it takes a lot to sustain yourself as an athlete. Your nutrition, your supplements, your basic living as well. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot. Apparel, your sneakers, where you're supposed to wear
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it takes a lot.
Yeah, and of course, in terms of disappointments, the Nikisha Price, many people, including myself, and I think you too, thought she would have won gold, but she didn't even make it to the final. I think what I think happened watching the race yesterday, I know a lot of people are disappointed, and they're probably angry. Some people who reached out to me are actually angry. But when you consider that this is a young lady who, from indoors to outdoors, has run more than 40 races this year.
Yeah.
She PB'd 5 times this season.
That is exactly my conclusion.
When you PB at one time for any season, you're pushing your body to a brand new threshold.
A zone that it's never been.
Never been breached before. She did it 5 times this season. And for her not to make the final, you're disappointed, but you understand.
Yeah.
You have to understand what is going on there.
Can I tell you, Leighton, it's been a long season. And at trials, I was wondering if the long season caught up with her. However, she ran she ran a 48.
She ran 49 and then she ran a 50.01.
No, I mean
40.57 in London.
Right. So after trials, London, 48, 50. So I was like, okay, so we're not done. So I felt good about her coming into the Olympics. But I think the long season, as I say, has caught up with her finally now. And understandably, she running from what, December?
Yep.
Indoors.
Indoors right through.
December. So that is a long season and it's a whole heap of
lots
wear
of
and tear.
4x4 relays. Lots of 200 season. Meters to improve our speed. Lots of flat 400s.
Yeah.
And of course, you have a feel for Malik James King as well.
It was right there.
He was right there
on the 10th hurdle. However, we would have seen a similar thing where I forget
it was the last meet. before when he hit the last two hurdles.
Right, the last two hurdles, but this time it's the 10th hurdle that, he clipped and it just threw him right off balance and, he faded out of qualification place. But I'm sure he has learned a lot, and his coach as well, and they'll be able to identify the weaknesses and move forward. Because I believe in Malik James King, I think that youth has a lot to give this, to this event. So we're really looking forward to it. He has serious flat 400 speed, and his future should be really, really, really promising.
Yeah, we have a little time to go, but we have to talk about two events coming up. The 400-meter finals for men was absolutely ridiculous.
Big race.
Fifth place was
Big
43.8.
Say that again.
Fifth place, never happened before.
Say that again.
43.8. Fourth place was 43.78. Jeremy Richards and Kirani James. Listen, Kirani James for me is
Superman.
the greatest.
Yeah, man.
Because
I said that too. Trust
he's
me.
been doing this from 2011.
Leighton, the man get back to 43.7.
In the semis.
Yo, that youth.
Listen, man, that was crazy.
I mean, when you consider all the things he has been through as well, big up Kirani James, big up
Lost
Grenada.
his coach,
man.
Harvey Glance died this year.
Illness and everything.
Graves disease.
Yo.
And come back to this level. It's fantastic. And you have to read
Amazing.
for Jeremy Richards from Trinidad and Tobago. Previously, Marcel Descendian had the record for the fastest ever of time to run for the tournament medal in 44.01. That was from the 2016 Olympic Games. I think
By 44.
Man run 43.78 and still
And
have the podium.
don't medal? When? How?
Yep, absolutely
Why?
nuts. Absolutely nuts. Dog.
A madness that late,
Yeah,
man.
but you have to kudos to Quincy Hall, though, and of
Yeah,
course.
he was hungry. He was hungry for it. You could see he was the
And
most
Matthew
hungry.
Hudson Smith, second place again from the
Again.
World Championship last year. And he ran a faster time this time.
Yo.
But
You could see Matthew Hudson Smith saying some words I will not say.
you cannot repeat.
No, but he was disappointed, of course, to lose that way a second time. However, still a big performance. The Olympic silver
Who
medal.
wins the women's race now? Is it
Lafon looks really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Paulino?
Paulina looks really strong. I think she has timed her season. We didn't see her for a while, but she looks really strong. I think she's going to be hard to stop based on how she looked in her semifinals yesterday.
And I think NASA is back too after.
NASA looks ready.
Yeah.
Kazmarek ever dangerous.
Yeah. I think that could be the top three.
That might be the three that separates themselves.
Even though Alexis Holmes did look good in the semis as well, but still, I think Kazmarek and Paulino and NASA look like, right now they look like them likely medalists there.
Men's 4 hurdle, you think it will be shaking up the top three?
Yeah,
based on how Dos Santos looks yesterday.
Dos Santos looks fragile. He looks vulnerable. So
He
that could be a situation where he's
he looks vulnerable.
If Roshan can produce another 47, maybe he sneaks in. Or Karen McMaster.
I had James King probably
third
with a chance, pulling up the top three, but I'll take Roshan Clark doing so. As I say, what's his name? Dos Santos looks vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but he doesn't look as sharp as he was earlier in the season.
No.
Finally, now though, the women's 400-meter hurdles is going to be wild. I think what we've seen from Femke Ball and Sydney McLaughlin suggests to me that the race is going to be a lot closer. Than I think, because 47.93, that mixed relay split, tells me that Femke is in fantastic shape. And I think she'll be able to stay with Sydney right up to until maybe hurdle number 8, where I think the last two hurdles make the difference.
Definitely, I agree with you 100% on this, Leighton. It is how she executes, though, because that first, and it might have been deceptive, because what you said the split was?
47.93.
No, it was deceptive, because she looked like she wasn't doing anything in the first 200 on that mixed relay for split. But once she can stay within striking distance, Sydney might be in trouble if, based on Femke's endurance, Sydney might. She's not as fast as Sydney, hands down. Since she has 22.0 speed. But if she can stay close, going into that 8th, 9th, 10th hurdle, she might have a chance, to pull it off.
And Rochelle Clayton third, you think still?
Luck.
Right. Keep our fingers crossed. Let me just get one comment from a couple of last week. Of course, Michael Young, 6837, said Julian beating Shakari. Kudos to you, my boss. You called it right. You called it right. Of course, that's where we end for this week. Of course, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next week, This is Leighton Levy on behalf of the great man D Major
We're still
saying,
there. We're still there.
see you next week out of the blocks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.